look as if he's have just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, we'd have meeting at 6:30, mate.
Yes, and we're back, JP. It's Celtic Unrestricted View. My name's Ryan Clifford, and it's a Monday session with the two Ronnies. How you doing, JP? How's things, mate?
Aye, good, mate. All good. How's yourself?
-9, mate. Baltic once again. That's why we've got the hoodies on.
Yeah.
But all in all, mate, good weekend. Celtic won again, and we're back to -9 as usual. We're all happy. Guys on the podcast, mate. Nice to see you smiling again, mate. Hope you had a good weekend, and let's enjoy the chat tonight.
Aye, mate. Same again. Weekend flew in. Always does. But aye, football was good. Obviously, at the weekend. Great result for the Hoops again, as we hit the fantastic 4 against when the Saints go marching on, as they say. But no, I was pleasantly surprised again. The quick turnovers for Wednesday till like yesterday, and the performance levels was still there. So no, it was apart from it being a quick weekend, it was a good one. But it was good to see Celtic winning yesterday again, mate.
I think obviously the other mob won on Saturday, so obviously down to 6 points. Pressure's back on us to go and, when I say pressure, but it's back on us to keep the gap to where it is, or where it was, sorry. And we've done that quite effortlessly, in my opinion, JP. Didn't really think we came out of second gear again. I've said that the last few weeks, and I think we've been like all season, to be fair. I know people will maybe criticising once again, we start off well and then we it's just like plodding along and just playing through the motions and just seeing the game out in the second half. But the way we are playing, mate, the games are done in the first half. And as much as we want us to be gung-ho and win 7 and 8 and do this and have flair and see if the game's won at half time, they're doing very, very well. You can criticise maybe saying that we should be going gung-ho all the time in the second half and just starting again, but you know yourself, we playing football, JP. When you're maybe 2 or 3-0 up at half time, it can be sometimes hard to go with the same motivation because it's kind of done. The game's finished. You've still got to go and obviously put on a show and basically see the game out and don't really concede any goals in the second half. But because of the game's won, I think mentally some of the players must know it's done. Right, we'll go just sort of stuff and just basically see the second half out. I know that's not the way Ange does his team talks. Well, I can't say I know that, but I know that's the way through we know him. He won't go into the dressing room going, right, the game's finished, just pass it about. I know that's not the case, but it must be hard sometimes, JP, to do so well in the first half and do that again. But I think we've definitely just been amazing, mate. There's only so much words, in my opinion, mate, that you can say about this team. No. You're bringing guys like Tumble off the bench, Aaron Moy as well. Amazing. He's what a player. Obviously, I know some fans who I call them the Boo Boys, but why we signing him? It's a free transfer. He's been in China, and I knew when he signed, mate. You knew when he signed. All of us on the pod knew when he signed he was going to be a very, very good player. Granted, he was going to take a bit of time to come in and start his stuff because he didn't really have a lot of game time, etc. before he came in. But by all accounts, mate, he's absolutely cruising in the team. He's impressing. I'm not going to say that he's an automatic starter every week, but due to his form, you'd be disappointed if he's left out, him personally. But in my opinion, mate, I just thought my overall opinion of the game was brilliant start again. professional in the second half again, increased the lead. Obviously, we'll talk about maybe the only negative would be the goal, but apart from that, mate, I can't really see anything that we can't praise him about again.
No, and again, mate, that's why we call you Andy Gray, innit? Because you cover all bases at every time, mate. No, listen, this Celtic team, like I said to you before, Ryan, this Celtic team's absolutely relentless. And I spoke to Sean about it on Friday when you were skiving. And I'd say to him that this Celtic team have got a lot of firepower. They seem to have a lot of answers. Teams are setting up in a low block against us now, and we're rattling off 3 and 4 goals against teams. So whereas maybe Celtic teams of the past would, be struggling to get one out of the line, we're hitting 3 and 4. And like you said yourself there a couple of minutes ago, the games are done at half time. It's absolutely phenomenal. Just before we carry on, mate, we comment here for YouTube. Tam Mac says, hail, hail.
Hail, hail, Tam.
Massive hail, hail to you, Tam. Cheers for tuning in, mate. But I would imagine the message for the management and the coaching team is obviously that we never stop, because they just seem to go right at it. I did think yesterday there was a couple of moments when we were quite sloppy. But when you're relentless and when you're going for the jugular at all times, the way we play, we're always going to give teams chances. It's because of how expansive we play, and teams will not have a go at us at all. But no, as I said, mate, I was really happy with what I was watching yesterday. And the guy you mentioned a minute ago, Aaron Moy, he's became one of the most important players of the team in the last few weeks. And I know you like to call them the boo boys, because there was a lot of them more or less booing and, why Celtic doing a deal like that? This isn't going to go very well, blah, blah, blah. It was all the nonsense we heard in the summer. That has now significantly went away. And it's quite funny because, a bit similar to yourself, mate, they've all got crumbs of humble pie on their hoodies and on their jerseys now. I know yours is obviously for different reasons. We Oxos kind of definitely made you eat your words anyway, which obviously you've said at great length as well, that you're more than happy for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we all wish every guy pulls on the green and white jersey and gazelle that white line is going to be a huge success for us, because at the end of the day they're there to play. They're there to play for us as well. We're the fan base. We're the guys that go and cheer them on every week, and they're there to but this Celtic team seem to be there to really entertain us, and that comes from the manager. And right away, for day one, the manager's kind of got it straight away. It's not like he was a novice. He was walking in, he didn't know it. He's a foreign manager, but he's not a foreign manager coming into a job blind. He knew what he was walking into. And not everybody, in my opinion, Ryan, gives a guy credit enough for that. There's still a lot of guys out there that are overlooking that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like I says, mate, a remarkable. I mean, I've lost count now. I think it's like 35 games Starfelt and Carter Vickers have played together in the league, and they've not lost.
Is it not? It must be. I'm sure the last I've seen me was 38. So it must be
Right,
about 39, 40 now.
Right, it must. But I think 5 or 6 of them have been draws. But
right.
the rest Celtic have won.
Right.
Aye. I think 5 or 6 of them has been a draw.
Right.
But obviously then Celtic have won the rest of them. That's phenomenal, Ryan. I don't care what league you play in or what your opposition is every week. That is absolutely phenomenal. And again, the word relentless comes into it, because in my opinion, you can only beat what's put in front of you. It's no Celtic's fault that we don't play against teams like Man City and Arsenal and, all these other teams that would probably more than likely test us week in and week out. and we would probably be able to attract a better clientele, like category of player. We would probably have a higher budget if we did have stuff like that, So it's, I know that side it's night and day, but as I say, mate, this Celtic team just seem to be absolutely relentless. I know what you're saying. There's only so many times we can sit on here, or us all talking about it, and there's only so many things we can say, because eventually you start running out of compliments for the team, because they just keep surpassing what you expect from them. Like I says to you, I would love to put a foot to the flare, try and win as many games as possible, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, unbelievable. Before he came back in, Ryan, there's a wee message here for Francis for Facebook, mate. I'll read it out because it's quite long. He says, "Great result, lads. Thought the pitch kept the score down. Aaron Moy continues to impress, and Wee Kyogo is fast becoming a guaranteed goal a game. His movement and energy is superb. Love the fact we can control the second half. We can pick and choose when we go for the throat and not give away needless possession." And that's what Ange maybe says when we scored 3 or 4 in the first half. Like the look of he's a bit of a beast of a boy, and I feel he's got great potential to deliver for us moving forward. I'll let you take that one, Mike.
I'll just scroll back to see it. Francis, I think you're spot on.
You want me to put it up again for you?
No, I've got it there, mate.
No, you got it.
I think Francis is spot on. Very good comment, to be fair. He's kind of said what we've said as well in terms of the way we're controlling games, the way that we're dictating games. No other team is dictating when we play. The way I see it is, like I've said to you, JP, doesn't matter if it's Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts, whoever it is. If Celtic turn up to the Ray game and Celtic turn up to what we know, the game's done. Game's finished. Because no team in Scotland, maybe a 1.5 game here and there, right? They'll be able to maybe, if we are underperformed, like we did at Ibrox, like we did at St Mirren, when we underperformed, teams can maybe get at you, maybe get a goal and basically 3 points against you, right? Mm. But the only time I feel they're going to get anything off you is if we underperform, which since Ange has no happened a lot. Very rarely has it happened, and even when we have, we've only lost 1 game in terms of this season. Last year, you can't really, obviously, on the record books, it's going to be doing as 3 defeats out of 6, etc. And we didn't qualify for Europe. On the books, it looks bad. It doesn't look good, but we all know that. I'm not counting that in terms of Ange being here. That was him rebuilding the squad. Obviously, you need to count it because it's on the record books. I get that, right? But in terms of, for me, Ange's team was roughly when he booked just after December, when he signed some of the Japanese boys. That was when he kind of knew. For me, I was like, right, he's getting this together now. This is him. That's what I say to you. At the end, I think we got to just about after we got to. I think we got to 3 points ahead, I think, roughly. And I said, if we lost the league now, then now the manager kind of gets a bit to blame because we're ahead now. If we go behind now, then this rebuild carry on. You're ahead. If you go behind, then it's down to you. It's down to the players and it's down to the manager. But we've not been ahead ever since we've took care of them. Ever since we won that game at Celtic Park, I think. We've not been, that's us. We've been absolutely steamrolling them. We've not been second since. And for me, it's just that everything Francis says is spot on. I can't really come back and say anything much more than what he says because we speak about it kind of basically day in, day out on the phone, mate, and in group chats and on this as well, daily, that it's down to us how we win games now. Teams can come and try and take a game as, but like St Johnstone try to take a game as they get punished. Rangers tried it at Celtic Park, 4-0, 3-0. They try to come at us, boom, poshed. Good night, Vienna. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way we are, mate.
No,
I know.
when you said When you said there they tried to come at us at Celtic Park, I just got a vision of League One John trying to pass that ball out for the back, and Turnbull taking it off him and scoring.
I just believe that for anybody in Scotland right now, it's probably for me, it's got the exact same feeling under Brendan Rodgers. You were turning up thinking, as much as Barnaby, before anybody says anything wrong, you can't just turn up expect to win. I know that. We've all played football, JP. You've no divine right to win any football game. Doesn't matter if you're Celtic playing East Stirling or Barcelona playing Davos or whatever it is. You've no divine right to win any game. But we can only go by the quality we've got, by the confidence we've got, by the players that we know we've got, and the feeling about the club now. You're expecting to turn up and win. That's just what you expect. Similar, if we dropped points yesterday, I'd be really disappointed. Like, why we dropping points? Again, I know you've not got the divine right to go there and win, but because of the way we're playing, if Johnston beat us, I'm thinking, right, I don't like that, but like we move on to next week. But you just can't see. I don't know if it's overconfidence or if I've been blinded by how well we're doing. I just can't see right now. I know, watch this. We'll probably beat Saturday in the Scottish Cup again when we're on our podcast. I just can't see where we're dropping points. I know the Scottish Cup's different, but I can't see how we drop points now unless we really don't play well. I mean, really don't play well. The difference between us and them across the water, they're not performing well, but they're just winning. We're not playing that good compared to what we have been playing recently, like last year. I don't think we're coming out of second gear and we're strolling past teams. We're strolling past them. St Johnstone had best, I think, one or two shots really that caused any hassle, and that was one that we'll obviously speak about with Joe Hart with a goal. Apart from that, I can't really think anything that threatened us. Joe Hart wasn't in any trouble. Vickers and Starfelt weren't in any trouble. It's coming a regular thing.
I think the one after the one you're talking about, the only one I can think is the one Graham Kerry plays across the box in the second half.
But I mean, it's no.
And the big boy just didn't read it. I think it was a McLennan, wasn't it? Conor McLennan.
Aye. But it's not like you're sitting going, oh, Jesus, that was nearly a goal. Like, you're not getting that. Like, maybe under the season that I was talking about, the 10-0 season, or maybe games like with Mowbray and stuff. Oh, Jesus. Like, you're always on edge, think you're going to get a goal. With Celtic now at the back, with Starfelt and Vickers, you don't think you're going to concede. I know people like to blame Starfelt for a lot of things. Oh, his passing's terrible. He's always got a mistake in him. Aye, let's be fair, right? He maybe has got a mistake in him, but he's got Vickers there to help him. That's why it's a partnership. That's why it's a
mistakes as well, right?
That's why it's a partnership. It seems to be the same when Beaton played. Beaton was always a scapegoat because he's playing centre back. Oh, he's doing this, but he's trying to adapt to playing at centre back. He's not a centre back. Big difference. I don't know if it's because of JP, because things are going so well. Maybe like us and I'll maybe pick one or two things that I didn't like, even though I can't criticise them. But I need to talk about something. I can't just keep saying we're doing amazing and we're doing this, because people are going to go, Ryan, you're being too biased here. You're being too. Do you know what I mean? You need to say something. You can't
just go and pluck something out and go, right.
Obviously, there's got to be something I'll mention. We'll talk about it, right? But it's not a massive deal. But I didn't like it in the game. But then fans might go, no, I think Ryan's right, or I don't think he's right. This is why. But I think there's certain things in the game you've got to mention. I do agree. I did put it on Twitter. I did think we're a wee bit sloppy, but that didn't make us lose the game. And so it's not really. I'm not going to highlight it, but I did think we were tiny parts of the game we could have done better. But we didn't come out of second gear. We don't need to be better because we were winning games easily. I agree with Francis. I know, then I'll let you back in, mate. Sorry, I'm going on here. But when we decide to step up a gear, I think we can do it. Can Hibs do it? Can Aberdeen do it? Can Rangers do it? I don't think so.
Aye, I see where you're coming from there, but just before I elaborate on what you were saying, our good friend Sean was saying, I know a wee bit of Oxo on your humble pie. That's certainly a new one, Sean.
Sean, if that's what you do in your spare time, having gravy and humble pie, mate, then fire away, mate. As long as it's chicken stock you've got.
Aye. he's going to come back with something now, isn't he? What did you do that for? You're just going to encourage him now. I had to endure it on Friday off him, man. You've just encouraged him to come back with more. No, I'm only kidding. No, I totally agree with you, mate. Like I say, we were sloppy. And when I say sloppy, it was sloppy that didn't cost us, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
We were sloppy in terms of, I know we can do better in certain wee moments. But I'll give you an example, right? For the first wee while, especially in the first half, it just appeared that Hatate couldn't pass a ball to a green and white jersey. Everything he tried just wasn't happening. He actually gets caught dilly-dallying on the ball. But, by the way, see that would have come off, it looked like one of the best moves in the world. I know what he was trying to do, because he held the two boys off. And he was trying to do a wee shimmy with his feet to get the ball. I can imagine he was trying to take it through that gap between the two of them. And he just never managed to quite do it. So, but it just seemed that he was, he just wasn't at it. And I think a couple of us had mentioned it yesterday, he just looked a wee bit out of sorts. And sometimes you get games like that. Look at Juranovic when he came on at a big house.
Mm-hmm.
Juranovic looked as if he'd put David Fernandez's boots on. Right, no one of you laughing. He just looked as if he was totally. I think it was like one of your mate that he's making up the numbers as a game of fives, and you're waking him up 10 minutes before a kick-off for fives. So one of the boys will pick you up in the motor, get your boots again and come down. His hair's all out of camp, and he's just not quite there. Odd socks, and his shorts are inside out, and his t-shirts, his wee brother's t-shirt doesn't fit him, and
his Donny boxers and all that.
His Donny boxers. But no, as I said, it just obviously you can have days like that, Ryan, where you just on the at it, and that's fair enough, mate. I mean, it's a long season. Celtic play nearly 60 games a season, and given total all the competitions are in and out. So I'm going to allow them one or two days no at it. Do you know what I mean? You can't. We want perfection, but that's just not possible. But we're getting close to it in terms of this side, anyway. And that's the scary thing as well, Ryan. You're looking at the Celtic bench. You picture being an opposing manager, somebody like a Callum Davidson, a Stephen Robinson, even Derek McInnes, with teams like Kilmarnock, and they're walking down the tunnel and they're seeing Big Ange walking out, and then you're looking at the Celtic team, you're looking at it going, there's Joe Hart, Old England international goalie, played in the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. There's Kyogo, he's scoring a barrel down, he's in form. There's Jota, looks as if he's got all that illness and he's back to his wee trickery bits, and he set up, 2-3 goals yesterday. There's Carter Vickers, he's absolutely solid with that big guy beside him, Starfelt. They two are like a double-decker trying to get by to him. There's Greg Taylor, and he's playing the form of his life. 1 minute he's there, next minute he's away up there, next minute he's there, you've not got a clue where he is. He just goes wandering. It's as if they've given him a free roll with the team, and Ange's like, all right, you just go where you want to go. As long as you pick up the ball and you're looking for that next pass. And that's the thing as well. Lee Oxley's always, he's got that next, he knows what he's doing before he's done it. He's 1 and 2 passes ahead of where he's gone. When he gets that ball, he knows that he either knows the ball's going forward or he's taking a touch and it's going back to the goalie. You can see he's well positioned now, and then it was the same with Johnson. I know he took a wee bit of time to get started yesterday, but when he did, he started. He was switched on and he was looking for more, because at the beginning he was just playing safe. There was a couple of times I think the ball got put down high down his side yesterday, where he slips and he's not positioned well. He's not got his legs like ready to go, and he's maybe caught in the back foot. But like I says, mate, you can't. It's impossible to do it week in and week out and keep that going week in and week out constantly, especially when you're playing 2 and 3 games within a space of like 8 days. But to do it at a level we're managing to do it is phenomenal, because there's no other team in Scotland able to match it. Well, we've only lost 1 game this season. That's frightening, man. Let's talk about setting the bar so high. All the other teams are all taking points off of one another, whereas Celtic have beat everybody in the league now.
Mhm.
So I know people are like, St Mirren beat us, but we beat St Mirren at Celtic Park, so it means now we've beat everybody in the league.
And beat them comfortably.
Well, aye, and like you says, Ryan, we've not even broke sweat. In my opinion, mate, we've not got out of second gear. So I just think it's the way the team are being coached, and obviously the fitness levels of the team now as well. You can see, and we're having the 5 subs, like that bench is, like I says to you, and I said it in a couple of podcasts ago, a couple of episodes ago. This Celtic team's the best Celtic team I can remember, and it's probably the strongest squad. Whereas everybody and like even on the bench now can all be first teamers. Every one of them could come in and play for the start. You're saying Turnbull's coming off the bench. He's contributed, 5 goals in his last however many appearances, and they're all off the bench.
It's 5-5, isn't it?
But that's what I'm saying. You're getting guys coming off the bench now and making contributions. I know he's kind of gaining fitness, but you could see his first touch yesterday, he skinned one of the players. Haksabanovic is getting that wee yard sharper. You can see again, he's looking to beat somebody right away, stand the guy up and away he goes. Abada's the same. I know Abada's quite frustrating, especially sometimes in front of goal. And he's only frustrating in certain wee moments with his decision making. Whereas it's all right for us on the telly, Ryan. We can see that he's got a pass on, but when you're right in that moment, mate, you've only got a split second to think about what it is you're going to do. But I just think if he gathers that wee bit of composure, he sees a defender coming in, and all he needs to do is feint the shot, let the guy cut across him, he cuts inside, and he's got a clear 1-on-1, and the goalie either needs to spread himself, or he needs to dive and save it, and he's got a chance of maybe sending him a wrong way and putting the ball in the far corner. There's just certain wee moments I thought, a wee bit sloppy, a wee bit more thought behind it, bit better decision making in key moments, and I think you're talking the difference between 4-1 to 8 and 9-1 easy. And as Francis says, I'm not a great believer and a great one for moaning about pitches, because there's 2 teams on that part, Francis. It's not just Celtic. I know we play a brand of football that no other team in Scotland can match and can play. I don't believe parks hinder you been able to pass the ball 5-10 yards. But I did see one of the passes yesterday. I think it was it Hatate, Greg Taylor? And the ball nearly bobbled and scalped him in the nose. It took that much of a bobble. It turned into a bouncy ball. That's what it was like. And I was like, oh, I even says it to my dad today. I went, and he highlighted it to me actually. He says, what about that bobble right in front? I says, I know. But I don't believe parks, unless they're artificial surfaces similar to Livingston's and Kilmarnock's, whereas we've said before, Francis, that they pitches are levelers. In our opinion, they can drag you down a level. But no, under this manager and under this way of working, it seems to be that, like I says, the firepower is totally there to see, and we seem to have a lot of answers, especially on the pitches, because before that, if you can remember, we struggled got to Livingston. God, Andy's first game against Livingston up there, we lost. And then all of a sudden, last match, and I remember that day vividly, like it was yesterday, because of obviously other events that took place that day, Ryan, you'll know. The Livingston game, we won 3-0 that day. So, and after that, we've kind of no looked back since. So, no, as I say, mate, but this team, it's no surprising me with the way of working. But what I've noticed, Ryan, with this team is the fitness level. Sorry, I'm rambling on a wee bit here, but the fitness levels for last season to now, because a lot of your fans' main complaint last season was usually 60, 70 minutes. The fitness level was, the team were tanking. They were starting to struggle. Whereas now, if fan sees 1 or 2 of them, maybe no gain that 100%, you can whip my math, and you're making 3 subs, 5 subs. in a hole, but 3 subs in a Awani. You're bringing off guys like Kyogo, and prior to obviously now, you were bringing on Giacomakis who could score goals. You've got guys like Maeda who can come in and out of the team. You're taking him off. You're bringing on Haksabanovic. You've also got a guy that we've not even spoke about there, waiting as well, that's kind of in and out as well, in James Forrest, who again shows the depths of every other Scottish team would probably take your arm and leg for James Forrest, no problem, because he's a huge asset to any of the clubs. You picture Aberdeen or Hibs or Dundee United or any of them we can afford it. It'd be like the way even Hibs signed McGee there.
Mm-hmm.
We were a bit of hype and all that run about it, and it would work wonders. It would send the news articles through the roof for that individual club. So to be in a privileged position like this is just phenomenal, and it's all to do with the manager's recruitment as well. Matt O'Reilly, there's another one who was on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Again, people are saying to me he's went off the boil. Has he? Has he not just played a lot of football, that he's just done what I had to done last season? And sometimes you can just step off it because maybe you're fatigued or you've played a lot of games, or I'm not wanting to make it. I'm just giving me daft examples of what could be affecting the guy's performance. But I wouldn't say he's went off it. But all of a sudden he's a bad player because he's no scored a couple of goals, or he's no. People forget the job Matt O'Reilly done when McGregor wasn't in the team.
Yep.
Don't be too quick to forget what's happened with the team then. Try and remember artifacts before, thinking about one or two certain individuals. And like you says before, Ryan, there's many people out there that have got their scapegoats, mate. So when things don't go right for the club or things don't, they're the first person that the fingers are getting pointed to. So,
Sheila, obviously last year, I think Francis put a comment as well there, that he didn't expect Greg Taylor to make it his own. I didn't either. For anybody who listens to this podcast knew my feelings about Greg Taylor. I know I wasn't alone. I was just highlighting it. Some guys will maybe put on Twitter, or they'll maybe have opinions, but they just won't maybe come out and say for reasons. Maybe they don't want other opinions. But I know for a fact that from what I'm seeing in social media and what I seen last year at the games, guys about me and females about me, people about me, they're all saying the same thing. Taylor's not good enough. He can't defend. He's not doing this properly. So it's not just me saying it, but I agree with Francis. He's the best left back at the club now. He's got to play. As much as I think Bernabei will come good, he's not playing recently. He's not really getting a lot of game time. So if he's no fit, then I think Bernabei can still come into a job. Would I be too worried if Bernabei came in and played? No, I know some fans would be. But I do agree with JP. Just us as fans, when one or two things go wrong or guys don't play well, for me, the guy that epitomises that Juranovic. He'd one or two. I wouldn't say I'll say Juranovic should maybe off my head. Maybe it's one or two stinkers. I mean, proper stinkers. Some games, he maybe no marked his man, or he didn't mark a space. But by the way, I know he's only played 2 or 3 games in Germany, but he's flying. The Union Berlin fans love him. The club have no stopped tweeting about him. But yeah, again, I'm never going to say, guys, if guys prefer Ralston or they prefer Johnson or Ralston was here, that's your opinion. But you're never going to change my opinion to say that Ante-Ralston is anywhere near Juranovic.
Ryan, has he been a sub the last couple of games? I heard that guy saying that Juranovic, he's been on the bench the last 2 games.
The games he started, right? Anytime he's on the park.
But I don't know if you know, but see, like say the last 2 games or something. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he's been on the bench for them, right? But is that because did they rotate their team a bit similar to the way we have this season?
I can't comment. I don't know too much about them.
Right. If any guys are listening in or watching us right now, and maybe know a wee bit more about the Bundesliga, our guys don't know, can you let us know if Juranovic being a sub the last couple of games is down to, or it looks like it's down to him being in a rotational with the squad?
Because when
because
it
it just looked a bit bizarre when I saw it. Because I've looked out for their team and their results. In the last two teams, I've seen him. He's been on the bench, and I thought, what's going on there?
But he was, for me, he's a prime example of maybe guys when we put the scapegoats. They were saying that Rangers, he's no winner and he's finished at Celtic, and then he goes and turns out a man of match performance at Hampden, and then fans want to stay again. You can't just decide that you want to play the style you like to play because you won game. It's madness, man. Like I might, like we were saying, Hatate wasn't really up to it yesterday, but he's still a top player. We've all had bad games when we play 5s or 7s or 11s, whatever. We've all had bad games. These guys get signalled out when they have bad games because they're playing with Celtic. That's just us as fans, mate. We're very critical when things go wrong, but when things go well, you praise everything to the halt.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Again, mate, I had a scapegoat with Taylor, but I'm very...
Oh, I know.
If I say something, I'll happily, if it comes back and haunts me, go, I was wrong. I can't say I was wrong at the time because I was right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people thought the same as me. But I was committed on this, and I was committed on saying he's not good enough. I'm an old enough
guy. I think
guy,
anybody watching this when you've known you, this scapegoat on him.
If I'm old enough and maybe not wise enough, but I'm old enough to know about myself. If I say something, I'm going to back it up with something. I'm not going to delete tweets. I'm not going to delete what I think on this or say no. Do you know what, guys in the league? What I say is that I'm going to say no. No, what I thought with Greg Taylor was what I thought. Other guys and females on Twitter said the same, but because we on this, people say, "Oh, that guy in that podcast said this," and that's just the way it is, mate. But he's been brilliant this year. The way he's come in under Ange, he's progressed into being a Celtic left back. The only criticism I can maybe put in the game yesterday was probably that goal. In terms of Hatate, I thought he was silly in the ball. And again, we've all got
nobody's mentioned that, by the way. Nobody. I think out of everybody I know, I was the only person that brought that to the attention. Nobody said it. I've not seen one person on social media saying he gave a ball away.
No, Hatate was stripping the ball.
No, he definitely was. But what I couldn't get was everybody was so... You were saying there a second ago, people jumping on people. Everybody was so quick to jump on Joe Hart.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody mentioned the fact that Hatate... Now, we've all played football, Ryan. See, that's one of my teammates doing that. I'm screaming at him, like, what are you doing? Because it's an area of the park, mate, that you just don't dilly-dally. If it's not on, do the simple thing and get the ball back. Play it back away if you need to.
It's criminal to get the ball back there. In any level. I thought it was very poor to lose the ball there, dilly-dallying the ball, and then he's not, to be fair, he wasn't really quick to chase back, and then
that's what annoyed me more. Annoyed, get up.
Aye, personally, we've all got our views on the Joe Hart situation. It was a good strike, but for me, a guy who's played at the level he's played at, I think that should be bread and butter stuff for him personally. I'm not want to criticise him because he has done well for us. But
we've all got better views than him. He didn't expect that coming.
I do agree. It was a very good strike. I do agree. I know he did get a hand to it, but just for the quality that Joe Hart's played it through the years, the quality of the new, it was at his side of the goal. I think he should be saving it personally. He should be doing better. I'm not going to go down his neck and say he's terrible and he should be going number one next year. He's still the best goalie in Scotland. He's maybe slowing down. He is maybe making a few more mistakes now, but he's still a very good goalkeeper. That's no criticising. That's me seeing what I see. He has made a few mistakes. He's come out for balls and he's missed them. But then yesterday he came out for some and punched them away. But then people criticise him. Why you not catching that? Sometimes a goalie can't win. He's come out, he cleared away. It's away for danger, but yet you want him to catch it. It doesn't matter if he catches it or he punches it. The ball's away. It's out of danger. It's done. But for me, some people, especially social media, were saying that it wasn't Hearts' fault. It was a good strike. It was a good strike, but I thought Hearts have done better. For me, it should be his. it should be his bread and butter, saving stuff like that. Again, maybe if I'm being too critical, people can comment on it, but am I just picking at something to maybe be critical? People can decide, but I just thought on that, it's maybe the only criticism I have of the game, mate, was maybe I thought Hatate should have done a lot better, and I thought it maybe should be bread and butter stuff for Joe Hart with the quality he is. But I think sometimes because he makes mistakes, he doesn't really get hammered than maybe he should. But overall, mate, you can't criticise Joe Hart. He's been phenomenal for Celtic. £1 million, bargain signing, absolute bargain. He's a leader. He's basically a second captain on the park. All the team respect him. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he shouldn't be playing. Being honest with me, for next year, for European football, do I think we maybe need somebody better? Maybe. But that's me maybe been, I'm thinking maybe too far ahead. But he's nowhere near going to be just wrapped because he's still a number one. And I think as the season goes on, he will be number one because Scott Bain can't come in and play, in my opinion. He's not good enough. Siegrist is good enough to come in and be number one. We've not seen him play number one, so we can't comment. So Joe Hart's always going to be the pick. Fans are going to say, oh, because he's made a few mistakes, get him dropped. A few mistakes. We're top the league with 9 points. Come on, man. I know I'm 75 goals.
75 goals in 25 games.
I know I'm criticising for this, just this goal. He's maybe, a few goals and he's done better. Maybe a few things at Ibrox, he shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, he is only doing what the manager's asking. I keep getting back to the thing with Craig Gordon under Brendan Rodgers. He get absolute crucified at Celtic Park when he was hitting balls out the park. But he's only doing what the manager's asked. He's following the manager's instructions and the manager's philosophy. Similar to the mistake Joe Hart made in Leipzig, he's following the manager's orders. And I know for a fact, when they go in the dressing room, Andrew's not going to be pissed off at him because he's just going, look, right, I'll take it on the chin. I've told you how to play that. It's my fault. Andrew's taking the burden off his back, and a few of the players came out and took it off his back as well. So, listen, Joe Hart's a quality goalkeeper. As he maybe slowing down, maybe, but he's still no finished. But maybe for next year, maybe think too far ahead. Fans might say, all right, but you're not criticising him, but then you're saying maybe next year we need better. I'm only saying that because you need to improve every season. If there's a better goal out there who's half age of Joe Hart, you go and get him. That's just the way football is. If you can improve, you go and get it. If there's somebody better than Kyogo for the same value, you go and get him. That's just the way football is. You need to evolve. It's one reason why teams like Liverpool are not improving, because they're not evolving. Every year they're signing one or two players. They're spending 100 million in one player, and that's their budget finished. You need to evolve every year to improve. And teams like Celtic, we can't stay still. We didn't stay still in the 10th season. We still bought 4 or 5 players. In my opinion, they were good signings. It just didn't work out. But you need to buy players that suit the system. But I do feel that players, doesn't matter what system you play, I think if you're good enough, you should fit into a system and you adapt to the manager. At this level, to play with Celtic, doesn't matter if you play a 4-4-2 or a hybrid or you play defensive, whatever you play, if you're signed to play with Celtic, you should be good enough to slot in and adapt after a few weeks and play that system. Look at Taylor, Glauson, Juranovic and Bernabei when they come in. They've never played inverted fullbacks before. Nobody at Celtic has, ever. I've been a Celtic manager. It's always been O'Neill was a free back with Stratton and whatever else. It's been a 4. So this is all new to us as well, these inverted fullbacks. So it's new to them. But it's took them a few weeks.
I've never seen any other team trying it.
It's just this way, you yourself, JP, Pep Guardiola's kind of changed a bit. Obviously, it was in before him, but he's evolved it and he's put it into practice with Barcelona. And everybody's trying to copy, but they're trying to make it their own stamp now. And the way Ange's doing it, mate, it's working for us. So, but some guys need to adapt. It takes guys a few training sessions, a few weeks to adapt. But look at his new mate. I didn't like it. See when he first came in, I said to you when the first few games of the season, Wilson's got out too much here because Abada is playing away gung-ho and he's leaving Wilson to do all the work. And it was the same with Juranovic. And that was why we were making some early mistakes under Ange, because the wingers were too far up and they weren't defending. They weren't chasing back. Jota I was critical of Jota. He busy defending. He busy coming back and help him out, Taylor. But now he's defending, he's chasing back. You've got Kyogo running back, help him out. The full team are defending for the front. So in terms of that, you can't really criticise. But the only thing I can maybe criticise for the game, I know I rabbled on there, mate, but the only game I can maybe criticise for yesterday was the goal, and I did think Joe Hart should have done a bit better.
Aye. Before we go any further, Joseph Agnew actually commented this in about half an hour ago, so it just shows you how long you were on your wee spiel there for. I'm only kidding on. Joe says, "Hail, hail, JP. A bad I could have left or passed to Moy, who ran into the box. A wee hail to Moy, and he would have scored." Obviously, that was the man I was talking about earlier there when I said I thought it was JOHNSTONE, and then he's obviously Joe's obviously replied to yourself. Hail, hail, Ryan. I said a lot about Taylor. He has improved brilliantly. The only thing is, he still only kicks with one foot. He trains all day, or time the team train, but he still kicks with one foot, which is
I get what you're saying, aye.
So more or less, free Oxo, you're watching tonight, mate. Apparently your right leg's for stoning on. So I never said that, but by the way, before you think it was myself.
He stands and makes your roast beef with his right foot, doesn't he?
Aye. Stands and then he crosses his hair and changes his legs when he's mashing all the totties up.
And he adds the Oxo with his left foot, magic in it, different gravy.
Apparently he puts it in a plate for you as well.
Bisto.
But no, in terms of Joe Hart, my only criticism was potentially his positioning, because I think if you look at it back, his natural position where he is, the ball is always going underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
If he takes a step to his left, he's then got an opportunity to save it when he dives to the right. But listen, it's all right for us to sit. But like I says, Ryan, we've got 25 replays, and at the game, when you're at the game, and the fans see it once and say and make up their mind for there. Some fans don't see it. I mean, some guys I know always seem to miss things like that. They're either always in the toilet, or they're away getting a bovril or a pie, or like they miss things. And there's a guy I know at Celtic Park who, time and time again, that doesn't matter what game it is, he always misses a goal because he's either on his phone, trying to FaceTime his wains, talking to somebody, and he misses a goal. I remember leaving the game with him one night, and I think it was a Astana game, remember, when Dembele scored?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
And I says to him, Dembele took that penalty well, didn't he? He's like, what are you talking about? I says, Dembele took that penalty well, didn't he? Again, he's looking at you as if you've just told him you're his dad or something, you know what I mean, for the first time. He's like, no, what are you talking about a penalty? They never got a penalty. I says, I did. I said, what do you mean? He says, I never seen a penalty. He says, Dembele got a penalty and they went down to 10 men. He says, did they get somebody saying half an hour? I was like, where are we going tonight, man? Like, it was just one of the... Like, and then there's millions of times like that, mate, where he misses things and he doesn't see things. But so a bit like Joe Hart, he doesn't see it either. But Big Joe, I'm not really going to criticise him too much. I did think it was a superb strike for the boy Drew Wright. I think the boy done really well. He had it first time as well, because I think he knew that he was getting shut down for both sides. But Hattati, for me, he's got to do better with the ball. He's trying to do, like, don't get me wrong, I mean, that wee turn and wee kind of shimmy with the ball, it would have been nice if it came off. But they're in their half, don't do that down in our half, and when we're trying to ball out and play out, you know, either that or do the ball, like, keep possession, keep the ball, either keep back to Taylor, keep back to Starfield, and keep the ball so we can keep the ball moving and start another combination out of there. But no, as I say, I don't want to really criticise him too much, because I know obviously the boys in the group chat and that have called him Big Papa Dom once. which was quite funny. I've got to say, but
That's because he likes garlic naan, mate, under it. You know what I mean? In the oven.
but you know the beers are well flowing when you get a text message saying, "I think Scott Bain would have saved that." And I'm going like that.
Aye, chat manager.
That's what I say. I say, well, you better turn your PlayStation afternoon, and put your Xbox on so we can get a bit of reality back about it. But no, as I say, I know where you're coming from in terms of the only criticism, but we were sloppy with some of our passages of play. One or two was, sometimes we're too slow. But I don't really want to criticise, and you can't really. I know what you're saying is like you don't want to just say, "Oh, we're brilliant, we're this, we're that," but we're relentless, Ryan. But we became accustomed to this now with us under this manager and this Celtic side. And in my opinion, Ryan, I know we won a domestic double last season. I think we're better this season than what we were last season, and we aren't trying half as hard as what we were last season. The reason for that is because we've got Mary a settled side. No. Last season it was quick, get him in the door, quick, get him in the team because half the team was gone. So, as you said, and there was a lot of injuries last season as well. Why? Because they're all trying to learn a new way of training, a new way of... Now it's ingrained into them, which is why now... I mean, you heard Juranović's interview way before he left. He said, I've got muscles in my legs that I didn't even know were here.
Aye.
McGregor said that I know. He said, I don't think I've ever been as fit as this. Greg Taylor, you can actually just see the difference in him. He's running forward now and he's going by people with the ball. I thought I was seeing him the very first time he done it this season. I'm going, he actually took somebody on and he beat him. And one thing I will say as well, I think it's remarkable that in my opinion, it was the best signing in the summer window, which is Harry Kewell. The job he's doing with the wide players is unbelievable. They're all so direct now, and they're always involved, and they're always looking to create. And if, like, he's just a workhorse. So if it's maybe not happening for him going forward, he's back defending and he's back putting that about and putting himself about. And we Abada's now started doing that and all. If he loses a ball, he chases right after it. I know he's built to the side of a fiver, right? But he's kind of... He's got that wee bit about him now, but he's showing a wee bit more aggression now. And no, it's working wonders, mate. And I know you did say that you don't want to keep praising him, but we've got it wrong because
it's not that I don't want to keep praising him. I don't want people to listen to podcasts or say, he's just pure, like, why he's not criticising. I'm not want to criticise Celtic. Don't want to criticise any players.
No, we're first to mention something if needs mentioned.
The only thing that I can say about the game was that, and we were sloppy, but we're not saying anything that I've not seen any other fan saying, mate. It's not that we're saying this just to pick holes in the performance.
Aye.
There's times where we should maybe done that better, but it's no... The only thing you can say that we were lucky that didn't cost us that goal. If that was at 1-0 or something, because it was very slow for Hatate. And I did think Joe Hart should have probably saved it. But I know other people are going to say that, like, maybe no, Ryan, you're wrong, which is fine. It's all about opinions. Maybe I think my opinion's right, you think yours right. That's what football's all about. That's why we like talking about football, because we've no longer got the same angle on everything.
What a boring world it would be, mate, if we were all the same.
So I says, you see social media, mate, after my tweet today, but a boring world if anybody had Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true.
Obviously, everybody knows that I put a tweet up. Again, maybe I didn't word it to maybe the way I thought put it across. But I do believe that Celtic, I know every goal gets checked, right? I know, supposedly every goal gets checked, right? But our goals for every game I've been, even away games and teams that have came to Celtic Park, our goals get absolutely forensically scrutinised to every detail so they can't give a goal. And people can say you're paranoid or you're this or that. No, I'm only commenting to what I'm seeing at the games. I go to games, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I'm not just the only one that says it. Some guys won't go on Twitter and put a tweet or whatever because they don't want backlash, they don't want criticism, they don't want your this or that. Listen, put a tweet up and turn it off. Don't look at it. Put what you feel across. Back up what you feel. And that, mate, you know yourself, I might say things that I might not be what fans like to hear or fans think that's right or about players, but I'll stand by what I say because I'm backing it up with what I'm saying. I'm no talking. I said to you before I tweeted, I've said to you before, see if I've wrote something that's absolutely bull, I'll say, right, okay, I made an arse of that there, and I was wrong. But I know I'm not wrong in what I've said. I know I'm not wrong. I might be, other teams might think the same. I don't go to every Aberdeen game and whatever, but you see the highlights and you see some of the snippets of the games, and even some of their games are taking maybe 2-3 minutes, but they're not scrutinised the way they scrutinise us. There's certain guys at the games, they go, how long's this taking? What? Checking football, checking offside.
That was brilliant. I've never seen it like in my life at the game on last Wednesday.
Mate,
it was not even 5. I don't even think 5 seconds had went by. Up on a big screen it says checking for possible foul, right? And it was as if they'd managed to check that, and then no even it wasn't. I don't even think it was. It might not be as quick as 5, but not even 10 seconds went by. The screen changed for checking for possible foul. It says VAR checking for possible offside.
I thought it was only to check the clear and obvious, and it was to check.
But Greg Taylor's get checked. That was a volley.
That's what I mean. But they're checking everything. See if somebody came out to me and showed me that what I don't already know. See if they came out and showed me word by word the rule book and say, right, they need to check this, they need to check this, they need to check this, they need to go. I'm sure is it no 30 seconds or 45 seconds past and then they can't check it. I'm sure I've seen that.
Aye, but they've got to,
if it's before that, they can check it, but if it's past that time, they can't go back and check it, I'm sure.
It's supposed to be, but...
Right.
I think there's an hour went by after a game up here and the refs are still checking them.
See if anybody for other teams come in and say that I'm absolutely right. I've seen a few comments on my tweet. Apparently I'm medically ill. I should be lying in a dark room. Brilliant. You've seen my tweet and you've liked it. Brilliant. You've made a comment. I don't care. The thing is, I know what I'm seeing at Celtic games, when I go to away games and other teams, St Johnstone's one get checked within seconds. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was seconds. It was maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Ours is taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Possible foul. Possible. Oh, do you know what? Well, maybe
what did they check yesterday with the Turnbull goal? What were they looking for?
Infringement.
For what? It was a free kick.
It was either an infringement or an offside. Because I think it was Kyogo was... that's what I mean. It was a clear goal. But they're checking. That's what I'm saying.
It wouldn't have been Kyogo because by that point he was off. It was Big O.
Sorry. I don't know. I thought all this was meant to be clear and obvious. That's not clear and obvious that the referee. That's just what I'm saying. I'm not going to spend all day talking about JP, but I just had to mention it because it's taking away the referees. In my opinion, mate, it's taking away the referee's duty as a referee.
It's phenomenal.
See if I understand the VAR to check, right? But see if the referee is 5 yards away for that and he's gave it. Well, it's so clear and obvious. It's the referee. He's right in front of it. He's going, for my referee, professional opinion, that is a foul or a free kick or a goal, whatever, then it should stand. See if they think, by the way, look, you've made an absolute howler here, go on and then check it. Right, he might go, but I've not made a howler in my opinion. That surely the referee's got to stand. It's to help the referee. But see if he thinks, no, I've decided that that's a penalty, then go with it. This is what I'm saying. See it unless they come out, maybe they in rugby, and analyse what it is. Right, we're checking the foul because Greg Taylor maybe pulled him before he hit the ball in the box. Right, okay.
Seeing rugby, do the fans hear them talking?
I think so. Right. I think the referee's got a mic on.
I bet it's tuned into the stadium and the fans can hear it. Is that right? I don't watch rugby. I've never followed rugby, so I don't know.
I've seen certain games where you can hear the referee talking to the players, right? And I think sometimes, I'm not sure if it's on the stadium, but the referee, the players know what's happening. The players, so it's loud. know what I mean? So maybe I think he goes, right, we're checking this. Right, okay, that's done. Right, now we need to check this. We need to check this. There's so much different comparisons about what they're checking, what they're not checking. And the Horn Boss situation, I'm not going to go into detail with this, IP, but we all know the situation with the Horn Boss. You're talking about a guy Forrest. That for me is one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. And yet the game is done. Right, okay, it's done. It's done. Golson, another Horn Boss during the week here. It's done. Didn't get mentioned in the media. Or it's a wee headline about it, but it didn't get talked about in the Super Scoreboard. It didn't because it's no Celtic. People are going to go, you're paranoid. Call me paranoid all you want. People won't come out and talk about it because they don't want backlash about it. I've grew up now. I try my best, Ship, you know my best. I try my best to be unbiased and balanced, and I try and look at. I give the referees the benefit of doubt, but I can't now. I just can't now. See if they can't work what they're doing, then they need more training. They need help. But VAR's not helping.
VAR stands for Video Assistant Refereeing.
But it's making it worse because they can't use it properly. Me and you said this at the start of the season. We would take it in if it's used properly. It's not getting used properly. They don't know how to work it. It's people might think I'm going on a mad tangent here. But I think I'm speaking facts. See if I'm talking about Mars, somebody tell me. Because I know most of the Celtic fan base want to say what I'm saying, but they don't want to get called paranoid or this or that. I know the club won't come out and date because the club have got to protect themselves. I get that. The club have got to protect the fan, and I get that.
No, like, listen, Big Ange, he done it in a few presses ago where he just had enough and he actually.
Did you see the man with Tumble? Did you see Ange? He's like that. Look,
there's a few times Ange has done that now.
What you checking now? What you checking now? The pineapples on the pizza or ham's not cooked properly in your stuff fry. Do you know what I mean?
What's jalapenos, John?
What's pulled pork anyway? You know what I mean?
Aye.
But again, mate, I'll let you come back on that because I know you'll get opinions on it as well. But I don't want to spend long on it. But I just feel that the checkers. I'm not saying they don't check every other team's goals, right? But the checkers, in my opinion, to an absolute T. Like they need to find something to no geese it. See if I'm wrong. Obviously, Rangers fans are going to say I'm wrong. Oh, you're paranoid, you're this or that. I've seen some comments from other fans who have started to wake up as well. It's not just me, but I just feel that they need to sort it. They need to either. I don't know, mate. I'm at loose cannon it now.
Aye. Me comment here for the YouTube, mate. A gentleman called Colin Thomas. He says, great podcast, guys. Keep up the good work. Thought we played much better on Sunday. Cheers for the comment, Colin.
Cheers, Colin.
Thanks for tuning in also, mate. Much appreciated. Francis just came in also. He said it was Haksabanovic jumping out of the way of the free kick. He jumped across after the ball was struck. When he lands, he's actually offside by about 3 millimetres. It was ludicrous. And then underneath, Francis says he was on when Turnbull hit it, as in the free kick. So, no, that moment, Francis, I'm like you. I was totally as baffled as the next guy. I couldn't believe what he was doing. I think I was worse than Big Ange, to be honest. I was actually a bit more vocal than Big Ange. He was just shaking his head, whereas I was ranting and raving in here like a loony. I think my missus came one time, she's like, who are you talking to? You're doing this to yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Just at a war. God's sake, man.
Aye. She came down the stairs, she says, Can you tell the time? I says, aye, and I stood up and says 8 o'clock.
Half two.
Aye. Time flies, doesn't it? Aye, especially when I launch this cloaky for being cheeky.
Aye, it's Chico time.
Chico time, aye. Don't say that now. It's before 10 o'clock, man. People might start getting a rag end of the stick with that one, right?
No, that's the only fans that's known tonight.
Oh, big man will be suffering for Monday Blues. It's a hard weekend for him. But no, as I said, the overall, the VAR thing is just totally it's like I say, Wednesday night was hysterical. I've never saw that before. I've never even seen that in any of the English games. When you see like the VAR check, you see on the screen VAR checking for red card or foul or penalty or whatever it may be, and then changing it saying VAR checking for a guy that's missing for his seat that's been missing since half time. Just want to make sure he's all right if he's not disappeared in the stadium. They're putting any messages up now. I don't know who's in control of the board, but it's got to be something mental the next time. VAR's checking to see if the referees get 2 left feet. VAR's checking to see if the refs get the right earpiece on, because we've been shouting at him for the last half an hour, telling him he's offside and that shouldn't be a goal.
It's like I'm not saying other teams aren't maybe getting decisions or no. I get that, but I'm only commenting for my team. In my opinion, home and away, it's getting absolutely like it's every detail. That's the thing I'm getting. I'm not saying that other teams aren't getting decisions, etc. It's a time taking, but it's the small details. It's like
no, I know what you meant. I knew what you meant today when you tweeted that. So I just found it quite funny with some of your replies and comments that you've had.
Delete them all.
I was going to comment and I thought I'll just leave them off it. They were all enjoying their part. They were all enjoying the party without me.
Oh, because if you comment, they'll end up calling you all sorts of that.
I know. Well, that's it, mate. But a guy for East End of Glasgow, you can take it. I'm a bit more thick-skinned.
But who do you think you're? Because you're on a podcast, who do you think you're?
Aye.
Isn't it? Oh, mad.
Me and you turning up to the Tallbooth bar next week, like that, as McGill's been in.
Aye.
He's been noising him up on Twitter.
Aye. Walk into Gracie's, I'm told, you're bad, you put that tweet out, you're paranoid, man, he can't come in. All right, I'll go to Conley's then. Nah, you can't go there. That's the full thing.
I know. You get to Conley's and somebody flings a pool cue at you and you're like, see you in another 15 years. But as you said, mate, it's...
No, when you walked out to that Metropolitan, you get the pool poke, you know what I mean?
The Metropolitan, aye.
Oh, by the way, cracking cocktails on there. Bit pricey, but man.
Try to lock the chef door because it says the menu. If you've not got it in 20 minutes within your order, you get it for nothing.
Aye. $9.95.
The chef swings on in a big Tarzan rope right through half the restaurant. Takes you up at 25 tables. There you go, boys. There's your pizza.
$9.95.
Aye. But
go to there.
Aye.
Brilliant.
But no, as I say, mate, I'm totally baffled by the whole VAR. But obviously, moving on to the last wee bit of the show, mate. I just wanted to touch on this gentleman here. Our new signing, Ho Hyung-gu. Now, there's a couple of wee cameo appearances he's came on for. But I thought yesterday he showed very good close control. Looks as if he's got a very nice touch, very strong, and he looks as if he's a lot more mobile and probably. I'd say he's probably more mobile than Big Giacomakis for what the early signs I can see now, because he can shift as well. But that kind of close control, that kind of reminded me of Edward Ryan. I don't know about you, but that wee kind of touch and roll, and he forces Considine to make that decision. So, which obviously was a bad decision. He had 600 appearances as a club career. He had a bad day at the office, Considine, yesterday. He's away home with a red card and an own goal away in his boot bag.
By the way, somebody tweets about him and all, man. People say he's a cheat or that. Oh, come on, man. He's a prick. The guy had a bad... There was a few Rangers fans saying, he's constantly always scores own goals. He's this and that. He's getting branded a cheat and stuff like that on social media. I'm like, the guy had a bad game. God's sake. It's mental, mate. Like, I don't know, man.
It's
mental.
It's nuts. But they can't talk, mate. They storm the glasshouse and throw stains at everybody else. Like I say, with them, mate, it's everybody else and no them.
Well, no, they want Man City stick that title's funny, that, isn't it? It's funny, that.
I mean, that was brilliant today, wasn't it? We want Man
Oh,
City strip for
man.
titles. Oh my goodness.
So is that you fight?
Yeah, the face painter sitting still watching Sky Sports News wondering where his door is.
Is that you finally realising now that he's a new club?
Well, that's it as well. That's the next question then, that. So be careful your next line, because it might come back to bite you in the bum. But no, as I say, I thought especially yesterday, Ryan, I actually thought he had a couple of nice wee touches yesterday. There was one he came on and he kind of, I don't know if you, right away, it was an instantaneous one. It came to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Haksabanovic. It was on the run. And he just kind of flicks it with his side of his boot, like his ankle. Just flicks it like a back heel across the St Johnstone player. But as he spin off the player in order to try and look for that 1-2 and receive it, like he just, in my opinion, mate, I know it's kind of hard to judge a guy because he's not really played properly, but early signs look good anyway. I know he's 21, but it looks as if he's got bags load of energy. The overall feeling, and what I'll say is, if people are looking for a comparison, remember we had guys like Bangura and guys like Klamala and guys like Amido Baldi playing for the club before, and Holmbert Fred Johnson. Remember they guys signed for Celtic as well, and I don't think Holmbert Fred Johnson even get picked for the full roster on any of the FIFAs the time he was here. So I think this guy, early signs of this, looks quite promising, man. And I think sooner rather than later, I think potentially Saturday against St Mirren might be a game to actually let's see what he can do for the beginning. Does Kyogo need to play on Saturday for the beginning? I'm not too sure, but it wouldn't surprise me either, because Ange did play Kyogo against Morton, and me and you were shocked when we saw the lineup. So again, with Ange, you just don't know. But in my opinion, mate, I would like to see the kid play for the beginning, and let's see what he can do when he starts and he's asked to roll his sleeves up right for the off, and see what he's all about then.
No, I think he's. I understand what Ange's trying to do. He's trying to better the man, etc., etc. But a guy can't really show his stuff within 5-10 minutes. It was the same when Jackie Marcus was here, and he was getting 15-10 minutes. I know people were saying his goal ratios is this one up to it, but
the two players are different reasons as to why they were. Jackie Marcus has obviously been, as it would appear now, I don't like to talk out of school, but it just looks to me it would appear now something's not quite right with the Jackie Marcus thing. So whereas this guy's trying to build his fitness and build his way into the team.
But
so
same guys were giving Jackie Marcus a bit of chip because he was not doing anything 10-15 minutes. You can't judge any player. You can see he's maybe got something in terms of you can't judge anybody on fight cameo roles, as you say, make cameo roles. He's got to start. He's got, again, being one of the managers, we can only say as fans. But for me as a fan, the guy that I bought for a decent bit of money, you want to make money and show his stuff. I think Saturday would be maybe a good game to get him in, because the Aberdeen game at home after that, I know people going, we should be beating Aberdeen, etc. But you play in the league, in my opinion, you play your strongest team. And Kyogo's the main man at the moment, so you can't really drop him for league games. Scottish Cup game, again, you've got to respect St Mirren, because if you don't play St Mirren, if you don't play Kyogo, it's no showing them disrespect. You're bringing a guy who's $2.5 million. You need to give him a bit of game time. So I'm agreeing with you. Saturday might be a pipe opener for him. It might be a game where you put him in for the off and see how he is. Celtic Park probably going to be a sellout again. So cup competition getting another round. So I would say maybe that's the game to start him. But like you say, mate, we expected maybe 2 or 3 young guys to start against Morton, and he went full strength. So with Ange, you just can't tell me what he's going to do. But I do think sooner rather than later, I think he is going to have to get game time. I know he's probably been bought in to come in the new, maybe to the end of the season, and then next year he'll start motoring into pre-season and go for there. We all know Kyogo's probably going to play, but the way Ange does do his stuff, he does rotate So he might retain Saturday, mate. So I'm agreeing with you. I think that he's got game time somehow coming up for us to judge him, and for obviously Ange to get the full package from, because I heard a bit about Joe Hart as well. Joe Hart says apparently he's showing up really well in training, and he's strong.
You can see it, and you can see he's got something. Like I say, mate, he looks like that kind of hybrid type, like Edward. If that, mate, just going with what I'm seeing and because like if you know the game, Ryan, you know when you see a player, you can go.
You can see he's definitely got
something.
You can see he's
definitely
strong.
got something there, and he looks technically good.
He's quite sharp. He's sharp, but he's sharp in the turn. But again, we can't comment too much because I've not seen him. But back to your point, mate, I agree that I think he's got to get some game time sooner rather than later. Again, it goes similar to the young guy. I know he's young, but he's not an academy graduate. When do you play these boys? It's similar to Olinu. When do you put him in? Because we don't really know him yet. Obviously, Ange trusts him, but we don't really know him yet. You'd rather play Kyogo, but at the same time, you've got to give him game time. You've got to put him in. So for me, I think obviously we'll build up during the week, mate. But I would probably say Saturday could be, against the disrespect St Mirren, but it could be the best game to put him in at the moment, because at least there's no pressure. Obviously, still pressure to win a game. But if he doesn't perform, then he won't book Kyogo. But then if you start him in the league and he doesn't perform, Celtic, Jack and Marcus missed a penalty and they get criticised. So if this guy starts the league and we maybe draw the game and he's missed a sitter, he's going to get under the pump. So for me, again, not by all fans, maybe but some fans. Again, mate, that's why we like football. It's all about opinions. But for me, I think Saturday would be a good opener for him, mate.
No, definitely, mate. I totally agree with you. And obviously, like say, Tomoki Awata as well. Obviously, we've only saw wee spells of him as well. So Saturday might be an ideal. Because again, Callum McGregor, if you've got good cover there, and when I say good cover, I mean bits of quality, there's no point in playing Callum and burning him out. I know that's probably going to be hard to say because he can play 200 games in 12 months if he's that type of player. But he's you've got that bigger squad now. It's going to get to a point where the manager will start being able to trust other guys coming in and other people's absences, and the performance levels don't drop, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You
can also play O'Reilly in the six and play Awata just as a kind of potential floater as well. So he's got severe options there in terms of what he can do. But no, mate, I'm the same as you, and obviously we'll cover that the St Mirren tie closer to the weekend, obviously. But for everybody that's commented in tonight, guys, massive thanks and much appreciated. I'm sorry I couldn't get everybody's comments up and to talk about it, obviously, because we've obviously got certain topics we need to cover as well here as well. So, but massive thank you to everybody that's commented in. Anybody that's new to the podcast and you like the content or you like what you've seen tonight, please feel free to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, Celtic Unrestricted View. If you don't know how to do that, or when you go to click subscribe, it's asking you to sign in. All you need to do is just set up a wee account, and it's free to do it. You don't need to pay any money or anything. It's totally free. You just put in an email and a wee password that you'll remember as an individual to do it. And you should be able to hit subscribe. Again, hitting subscribe doesn't cost you any money either, folks. So you hit the subscribe button, and it just allows you to get notified when this page is going to go live for any episodes that we're doing. Also, there is a section on our page on the YouTube again. It's called Community. Myself and Ryan have got full access every day of the week to that bit, so we can, any you want to messages at all about anything at all, if you just want to have a gab with the lads or anything at all, you get something off your chest, if you're maybe even having a bad day or whatever, please don't hesitate, because me and Ryan are no strangers, and we certainly don't bite. Well, I don't anyway, but it's not that time of night yet that Ryan can't promise anything. So we do have a friend that that's he's been known to bite one or two before, but that's a kind of a different ball game
So
altogether.
I'll ask him half an hour till his show starts, actually.
It is actually. He's probably killing a bit of time in it, isn't he? And he's probably watching us.
He'll be getting his fluffy jammies out.
Aye. I've put up our Twitter handle, guys, if anybody wants to take that, a wee note of that. So basically that, you can contact us on Twitter. The Celtic Unrestricted View is on all platforms as well. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're on all platforms. Myself and Ryan are on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram. Ryan himself's got a couple of wee other apps flung in there and all, but again, it's not 10 o'clock yet, so I can't really give you information of that. But myself and Ryan, you're more than welcome to contact us if you just want to chat or anything at all, or anybody that's maybe feeling down, maybe you've had a bad day or anything. Please don't sit yourself, please don't sit in silence, because sometimes it's hard to get away from that when you do. And yeah, as I say, we're very approachable and we're nice guys as well. So yeah, don't hesitate to contact us. But from myself and Ryan, massive hail. Hail, guys. It's been a pleasure chatting with you as well. And we'll catch you all again.
Hail, take care. A big milestone for the captain as well. Considering obviously where we were a wee while ago, didn't know who the captain was going to be. A few, including myself, wasn't sure, but McGregor was kind of saying Julian and all that, and you weren't really sure who was going to come in as manager to start off with, and then who would be the captain. Obviously, because let's be fair, anybody who follows Scott Brown, it's always going to be a hard task to follow the way he was as a person, as a player, and as a captain.